All right.
Yeah.
You got a mask? You got one?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
So how y'all doing, man? All of y'all from Hart?
Not everybody.
Okay.
Only ones that are from alternative rehab is right, the ones you see sitting right out there.
Okay.
These are all boys club too.
Oh, y'all from the Boys Club.
Yeah.
All right, my name is Andre James. I used to go to the Boys Club too when I was younger. They brought me here to try to speak to y'all a little bit about my journey and some of the stuff that I've been through. Are all y'all from Harrisburg? Everybody from Harrisburg? Yeah, I'm from Harrisburg too. I grew up out the South, moved uptown when I was a little bit older. But the main thing, man, I want y'all to understand is no matter what you came from, no matter what your living condition was, what your upbringing was, you got the opportunity to decide what you want to do with your life. There's gonna be a lot of challenges, whether you got money, whether you come from a good childhood or a bad childhood. It's gonna be a lot of challenges no matter what. But you're gonna have to make the decision. You're gonna have to develop your decision-making skills to make the right decision and get in a better position. People that got money got challenges. People that had good life got challenges. Men got challenges. Women got challenges. No matter what city you go to, I'd have been all over the state. I'd have met people from all over the country and in other countries. And a lot of them got the same type struggles. You know what I'm saying? Their families was poor. Their families was poor. Their families was on drugs. My mom was on drugs. My dad was a drug dealer, so forth and so on. One of my brothers is doing 25 to 50 for murder. My little brother, he had a homicide case. He beat it. My baby brother got killed on the hill, you know what I mean, when he was 24. So I just want y'all to understand, even though I'm up here, I know what y'all come from. I come from the same thing that y'all come from. Same street y'all came from, I came from the same streets. And I had to suffer a lot to get to the stage that I'm at now, and I still ain't perfect. I'm still learning, I'm still, trying to get there and round my life out, you know what I'm saying? So, don't let whatever you go through, don't let anything that you go through prevent you from going after whatever you want to do with your life. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do with my life. Take what I learned through my experiences and give it to y'all. So y'all ain't got to go through what I went through. I did 23 years in prison, straight. County, state, fed. Been all over Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? Did most of my time in the hole because I was doing, acting up, getting a lot of fights, stabbing people, so forth and so on. Living that life, trying to live up to that name, to that reputation. But it don't get you nothing. It don't get you nothing, man. Only thing it's gonna get you is jail or death. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you gotta live up to something, only thing you gotta do, man, make your parents proud, man. If you got kids, any of y'all got kids in here? None of y'all got kids, you got little brothers, little sisters, they looking up to you, they paying attention to you. Even if you think they not, even when I used to tell my little brother, don't do what you see me doing, he was doing what he saw me do. Just like my older brother was telling me, don't do what I see him doing, I was doing what I was seeing him doing. You know what I'm saying? It went all the way down, it's a cycle. And one of us in that cycle gotta step outside of it and make better decisions. If we make the same decisions that everybody else made, then what you think gonna happen? The same thing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So, where all y'all from? Where you from? Middletown? What about you? Huh? Georgia? How long you been living out here? Most of your life? Yeah. So when you was out there, like what was the difference out there and out here?
It wasn't even done. I wasn't even done.
Yeah, but like stuff for you to do. Yeah. I'm just trying to get an understanding like when we was growing up, we had the Boys and Girls Club. I know it was way different. You know what I mean, when we was growing up, they had boxing, basketball, football, flag football. You know what I mean, they was doing different trips and stuff like that. I don't know how much they doing that now, but you know, I know a lot of us had the problem that we ain't had nothing going on in our neighborhood. So you know, if we couldn't go to the Boys and Girls Club, then we was out, you know, out in the streets, running around getting in trouble. So all of y'all are in the Boys and Girls Club. Tell me why you like the Boys and Girls Club.
It's just like a good place to be after school.
Good, yeah. Y'all, you do your homework and stuff here? Yeah, we should do our homework here too. What about you? How old are you?
17.
17? How long you been coming to the Boys Club?
I just started coming back recently.
You just start coming back? How you like it? I mean, what you like about it?
It's cool.
It's cool. It's better than being in the streets, right?
Working.
Yeah. What about you?
It's pretty good.
Huh?
It's fun. I just play basketball.
You play basketball? You good? Yeah. What about you back there? Play ball? Okay. Y'all got a team? Huh?
I play for the team.
Okay. What about you? Same thing, you ball? Okay. Alright, and all of y'all in art. So how did you get in art? Yeah. Oh, you okay? So that's, I had asked him. I didn't know if people was still fighting their cases or already got time, like already got sentenced. So you still fighting the case? What's the charge? A firearm case. Yeah. And what about you?
Weed.
Huh?
Weed.
So weed. What about you? Huh? Right here. Red sweater.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I might be opening in here because I was in school, so he moved from my other school.
You was getting in trouble in school?
Yeah,
Yeah. What type of trouble?
every type of stuff.
Yeah. What about you back there? Say it again.
Fleeing
Oh,
Louis
fleeing
cops.
to Louis. Okay. And what about you?
I'm fighting
Through fire,
Assault charges.
assault charges. And what type of environment? School, on the streets?
Outside school.
Outside school? Yeah. Hey man, my nephew, he just got in trouble. My nephew 13. He play football, sometimes he play basketball, but you know, he young, he wild, he out there in the streets and whatever. I just be trying to tell him, man, first and foremost, like, it ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm living proof, man. I did 23 years in prison, man. I done been around the smartest of them. I've been in the feds, I've been around the biggest drug dealers, the rappers, the shooters, the killers, the robbers. I done been there. It ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? I understand, I know a lot of y'all feel like you unsafe in your own neighborhood, or you might get in a situation where you feel like, you know, these guys might retaliate, or you from this neighborhood or that neighborhood, or whatever the case may be. And man, you know, it's hard for me to tell you, don't protect yourself. It's hard for me to tell you that because I know what that could lead to. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I can say is, man, just make decisions that's good for you. Make decisions that's good for you, man. That's good for you. That's good for your future. That's good for your family. Because at the end of the day, when you do time, the only people that's going to be there for you is your family. All the guys you think is your homies and your friends and they gang and all that, they don't write you, they don't send you pictures, they don't come see you. It's going to be your family. And your girl, she a good girl. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta be a leader, man. Don't do what you see everybody else doing. You do what you see everybody else doing, you're gonna end up where everybody else at. There's millions of people in prisons in every state, any state you go to, there's millions of people throughout the country that's in prison because they thought that they was slicker than the system. I thought that I was slicker than the system. All the dudes in the feds thought that they was slicker than the system. Big Meech thought he was slicker than the system. Everybody think they slicker than the system till they get caught. Then you gonna do that time. And then like these situations that y'all get in when y'all young, you might think that you're doing what's necessary, whatever the case may be, or it ain't that serious. You know, the older dudes used to tell us, yeah, you get a gun charge when you're young, it don't mean nothing. I ain't telling you that you can't clean it up over a period of time. You can, but there's a lot of work that you gotta do, and don't do no work if you ain't gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? But I had a case from when I was like 16, an assault case, and when I went to trial in the feds, when I was like 26, they used that case to make me a career criminal. And instead of getting 1 year, I got 17 and a half years. So the stuff that you're doing right now, you think is small. You think it ain't a big thing. It's just a fight. It's just this. It's just that. But the system don't forget. They don't forget nothing that you do. Anything you do, they don't forget it. They gonna write it down and they gonna keep it on your jacket as long as they can. And if they can use it against you, they gonna use it against you. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at y'all, man, I see the future. I don't look at, I could be doing anything right now. I take trips all year round. Florida, I'm going to Vegas next month. I'm going to Puerto Rico in February. You know what I'm saying? I'll be living my life. But this is more important. Y'all more important. Because to me, like, y'all the future. Without y'all, we don't have nothing. All these people out here that done had their chance at life. They out here, they living life, but they ain't doing nothing for the world. They ain't paving no path for y'all to make it easier for y'all, to make it better for y'all. Now, I feel like if we've been through the type of stuff that we seeing y'all going through, then we got an obligation to step up and try to make it better and make it easier. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see y'all had to go through what I went through. And y'all don't. All you got to do is make some better decisions. Stop hanging around the guys you think is cool, that's into stuff that they shouldn't be into. I grew up around a family of, like, basically criminals. All my family was into drugs, on drugs, into guns, whatever the case may be. That's all I saw. That's all I knew. And we didn't have a lot of people that was coming and telling us, here's another way. This is another way. This is something else that you could do with your life. They wasn't telling us that. They telling us, here go a pack, here go this, get in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So you got people that work at art and the Boys and Girls Club, whatever the case may be. The people that work in the Boys and Girls Club when we was kids is out here in the community right now. They out here in the community right now, still setting a good example. They own barbershops, they own beauty salons, they own clothing stores, so forth and so on. They out here, they doing good. People still respect them. People still look up to them. People still listen to them. And I just don't want y'all to think that y'all got to do something silly in order to be respected. There's a lot of people in the world that are respected, that get what they want in this world. Whether you want money, whether you want fame, whether you want to be a rapper, whether you want to be a ball player, whatever you want to do. People respect Steph Curry. He never been in trouble. Whatever you want to do with your life, man, you just got to do it and be serious about it. And be willing to say, you know what, I'm not going to do what they doing because I don't think that that's smart. You got to make your own decisions, man. You got to be a leader. You got to think for yourself. Don't let the crowd think for you. Don't let your homies hype you up to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do what you know is right, man. All the stuff that my mom was telling us, she was right about. We felt like we had to rebel. We felt like, you know, I'm going to do it my way. My mom don't know what she talking about. But when you look back on it, you be like, oh, like she really knew what she was talking about. She really knew that them dudes that I was hanging with was going to lead me down the wrong path. She knew. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that the people that's around you, your staff members, the people that work at the Boys Club, don't think they telling you stuff just because they trying to control you or they don't know what they talking about or they out the loop. They know what's going on. They from these streets. Some of them like really from these streets. You talking about like from the streets, some of them like really from the streets. And they know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of times like people might come to you and they might talk at you. They might say things to you, not understanding what you come from or what you going through, man. I know a lot of y'all going through stuff, man. I know y'all are. I don't know y'all stories, but I know the streets. I know the hood. I know the trenches. Like I come from that. So I know y'all going through stuff. I know you might lash out or, you know, do something to somebody because you angry or you don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta just take a breather, man. Take a breather and think. You gotta think, man. The winners of the world are thinkers. The winners of the world are thinkers. Always remember that. The winners of the world are thinkers. Tyler Perry's a thinker. Jay-Z is a thinker. Steph Curry's a thinker. You know what I'm saying? They put that work in. They do that work consistently. Everybody look at Steph Curry, he got the jump shot. But he been shooting that jump shot since he was like 6 years old, literally. Every day. Get out there, whatever you want to do, dedicate to it. Put the time in, put the work in. You're going to see results, guaranteed. Guaranteed, no matter what you do, if you do bad, bad gonna come to you. I went to the store the other day, right? And I had got some food. But they had me waiting for like 20 minutes. So I had ordered some other stuff, whatever. So they ended up switching shifts. One dude left and another dude came in. So he gave me my other stuff I paid for. And as I was leaving out, I noticed that he never even charged me for the food. So I came back and was like, yo, I don't think you charged me for this. And he was like, damn, man. He's like, yeah, the other guy was supposed to do it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the other dude was like, yeah, man, that's some real stuff, man. Most people ain't gonna do that. Cause I don't want that bad karma. I know that when you do bad stuff, it's gonna come back on you. You don't think it might not come back on you right then and there. But the same way you got out on somebody else gonna get out on you. You know what I'm saying? The same way we was out there robbing, shooting, my baby brother got killed in the streets. My other brother doing 25 to 50. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff come back around. Everything you do is gonna come back around. It might not be you. It might be your mom, might be your brother, might be your sister, or whatever the case may be. It's the cycle. That's what's going on in our community. That's why our communities are the way they are. Because we not being responsible, man. We gotta be responsible. And like I said, like even if you ain't got kids, if you got brothers and sisters or cousins or whoever, anybody that you hang with, that's around you, that look to you, that pay attention to you, they gonna follow you. Anything you do, anything they see you do, they gonna follow you. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you on the message that you want to send to them. I don't want to send a message to you that the streets is cool, selling drugs is cool, going to jail is cool. Jail is for losers. Jail is for everybody that played the game and lost. You lost. You thought you had it figured out, you lost. That's what jail is. So all the dudes that they glorify in these movies and these documentaries and all that stuff, that go to jail, they lost. They had a little run, they got glorified or whatever the case may be, but then they sat down for 10, 20, 30 years of their life. And it ain't fun. And another thing I like to tell people, man, is like, you go to prison for living a certain way. When you get in there, you got one choice. You got one or two choices. Either you're gonna be a predator or you're gonna be a prey. And if you're a predator, you still end up in a bad situation. The dudes that's in prison, beating people up, stabbing people, you get more time in jail. You getting more time in a hole, 24 hours, 23 hours, 23 and 1 in the cell. And it's a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation. And it's unfortunate, man, that we come from a culture that glorifies violence. If you violent, people tilt their hat to you. If you violent, people think that's cool somehow. If you violent, that means that you don't know how to control yourself. That's what that means. That's what it meant for me. I didn't know how to control myself. I had a short temper. I react to anything that happens, anything that I don't like, I react with violence. Because that's the only way I knew how to solve a problem. But now I know how to talk my way through problems, think my way through problems. So when it all comes down to it, man, whether you talk about a math problem, a basketball problem, a street problem, the only way you're going to get out of it is to think your way out of it, man. You got to think your way out of every situation, man. Any scenario that you get in, you got to think your way out of it. They say that life is 20% what happens to you and 80% how you respond. So 80% of the time, you really control the situation no matter what's going on. Only 20% of the time, things might not be going your way or they might not be what you want them to be. But 80% of the time, we really in control. And all we gotta do is make the right decision. If you make the right decision, we're gonna get a better outcome. They say insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna get the same result. It ain't gonna get no better. I had to learn that the hard way. I don't want y'all to have to learn it the hard way. I want y'all to take the lessons that y'all got, to take the lessons that y'all get from y'all staff members or the people that work here or your parents or anybody that's trying to tell you something good or something productive and use it. Use it to your benefit. Use it to your benefit. It's only winners and losers in this world, man. It's winners and losers. You gotta make the decision whether you're gonna win or you're gonna lose. Which one's gonna work for you? In order to do that, you gotta look at what happened before. If you know 10 people that sold drugs and all of them went to jail, got shot or got killed, why do you think that you're gonna get a different result? Don't expect a different result. It's gonna be a similar result at some point in time. Maybe not right now. Maybe somewhere along the line. So, any of y'all got any questions? Anything y'all want to say?
No questions? Think about it. He says, well, a lot of you guys don't know how to get to that next level.
How you get that in the years
Initially, I had 10 years. I had 3 to 10 years. That was my initial sentence. Huh? Yeah, I had 3 to 10 years. That was my original sentence. Drug possession, gun possession, escape, and resisting arrest. It was my initial charges. When I was in jail, I continued with the violence, fighting, stabbing, trying to escape, so forth and so on. I got new charges from jail. More charges, more jail time, more trials, more time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean when I say, like, if you live in a certain way, and a lot of that stuff carry with you. My first day in jail, I got in 3 fights because of dudes that I was shooting at when I was out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Soon when I walked on the block, they like, oh, that's such and such. 3 fights, same day. So the same stuff that you get into on the street is going to carry with you in prison. And sometimes the stuff that you do in prison is going to come with you back out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's a cycle. It's a cycle. And you might go to prison and say, all right, yeah, I got 2 years. I'm chilling. I'm going to go ahead and do my time and come home. But the guy that you shot, or the guy that you beat up, or the guy that you did whatever you did to, you smacked his sister, whatever you did, he might not feel the same way. He might not feel the same way. He might want to press the issue. So then you got the option. What you gonna do? You gonna press the button? You gonna bow out? Sign in protective custody? You ain't got a whole lot of options. You know what I'm saying? But it's all stems from something that you did, something that I did, something that he did, something that we did, whatever the case may be. That's just what I mean, that it all comes back at one point or another. You know what I'm saying? Something I did in 1998 ended up in 2006, resulted in me getting 17 and a half years instead of 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So, and then just as far as that's just my profile. That's one of my books. When I went to prison, I didn't know how to read and write. I don't know how many of y'all are good and good in education or reading and writing or whatever the case may be. But man, as long as you got school, you got an opportunity. As long as you got adults around you, you got somebody that's willing to guide you and show you, man. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed if you're not good at something. There's a whole lot of people in the world. It's billionaires in the world right now. Damon John, if you ever watch Shark Tank or remember the clothing line FUBU, he He's dyslexic. He's dyslexic. You know what I'm saying? Billionaire. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't that you don't know how to understand. It's just that the way that the information is being delivered to you that you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about finding the right match for you to deliver the information to you the right way. You know what I'm saying? So never be ashamed to say you don't know. Never be ashamed to say, can you help me with this? Or I don't understand this. Because there's a lot of successful people in the world that don't understand things. You know what I mean? Everybody who succeed understand that the little bit of stuff that we learn is nothing in compared to the stuff that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Get your education, man. If I was to say that anything changed me the most, that made me better, it was education. It was me being able to understand things more. The more I understood, the better I was able to assess a situation, to look at it and be like, nah, you know what? That don't make sense. I'm not doing that. That right there, no, that what you saying, it don't add up. It's not, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
But you're okay telling that to somebody too, right?
Say that again?
You're okay telling it to somebody. You know what I mean? What you just said. You know what I mean? A lot of times these guys feel like they're uncomfortable with speaking that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? A lot of them in this room feel that way. You know what I mean? I can't say that to my best friend. I can't say that to an associate. I can't say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they feel like, you know, they're gonna look at me differently.
Right.
So
right.
that's what they
Right. Yeah, hey, I went through that too. You know what I'm saying? I went through that in an environment where I was 16, 17, reading and writing on the 5th grade reading level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I could barely read and write.
Mm-hmm.
At the age of 16, like 16, 17, when I really started taking it serious, got a dictionary and started actively learning. But pretty much everywhere I went, I made a habit of finding who knew something and just be like, yo, man, can you help?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I knew that it would make other people look at me different, but to me, like, learning was more important. And ultimately, like, that's what really mattered. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it came down to it. And a lot of times those same guys that laugh at you, they're not your friend. The people that laugh at you when you trying to do something better don't want the best for you. If you trying to do something good and they laugh at you or try to discourage you from doing it, that means they not for you.
Mm-hmm.
They not for your advancement. They not for your progress. So you don't need them anyway. Is how I was looking at it. You know what I'm saying? And when I look back on it, a lot of those same guys that laughed at me then, ask me for my help now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know how to read and write, but I wrote 7 books. I published 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? They doing a movie about my life, a documentary about my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, like, when you put the hard work in, man, it's gonna pay off. It might not happen right then and there. It ain't gonna happen right then and there. That's like you want to get in shape. You feel like you out of shape, and you go in the gym and start doing push-ups and pull-ups and all that. It ain't gonna happen right away. That ain't how progress works. You gotta stick to it, keep doing it, and eventually, people gonna walk up to you and be like, "Man, you lost some weight? You been in the gym? You changed. You different." You know what I'm saying? People around you gonna notice it.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna notice it, and they gonna notice in the way that you talk, in the way that you approach people, in the way that you treat people. It's, you know what I mean? It's gonna come full circle. You know what I mean? You just gotta decide if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be the person that everybody fear, or that everybody come to for drugs or whatever the case may be, I'm here to tell you that it ain't gonna last long. It ain't gonna last long, and those are not the people who you want to respect you. The people who you want to respect you are the people who are of respect. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that I had to learn. And I ain't just preaching this to you. I'm telling you the stuff that I had to learn. When I was growing up, I thought that these guys from my neighborhood was the ones whose standards we had to live up to. Because these were the dudes that we looked up to. We didn't know anybody else to look up to. We didn't know anybody else that was doing good. You know what I'm saying? I just had a conversation with a guy in the Staples the other day, and he saw me, and I had like all my clothing, like this is my clothing brand right here, Supreme Network, S&G. You know, we got hats, sweaters, shirts, different stuff. So he see me wearing my stuff. He like, you got your own brand? I'm like, yeah. He's like, my son got his own brand too. So I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. We followed each other on Instagram or whatever. And he was just like, look, man, I'm very proud to see that y'all out here owning y'all own stuff. Because when I was growing up, we wasn't doing that. But I was telling him, like, look, now you got these kids that's 10 years old, 12 years old, that know about Bitcoin, that know about NFTs and so on and so on. That's y'all. Y'all gonna be way faster than we was. You know what I'm saying? Because the information wasn't coming to us as fast as it's coming to y'all. So, like, y'all really, like, y'all the future. Y'all the ones I'm looking for. I ain't looking over here to the guys that I hung with and the guys that I see out there. I'm looking to the future. I'm looking to the youth. Y'all the ones that really got the answer. Y'all the ones that know that when I have a technology problem, I go to one of my little cousins. Yeah, look here, what I do. You know what I mean? Because they the ones that really know. That's how I look at it. You know, that's what I learned. I learned the most from young people. I learned the most from, anybody. You know what I mean? But I learned a lot from young people too, especially when it comes to technology. You know what I mean? Like, and then technology is the future of the world. So if you know technology, you grew up in the technology, in the tech world. When you was 5 years old, my nephew, he 10 years old. I pay him to do YouTube stuff for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, y'all the future when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Y'all just gotta step up and recognize that, recognize your strength, recognize your power, and use it. They people hiring people, man. The stuff that y'all know how to do, $1 million companies is hiring y'all to do it. You ain't go to school for it or nothing. You just grew up with it. We didn't grow up with it like that. So y'all way more advanced than we are when it comes to technology. So I don't want y'all to never feel like y'all don't have a place in this world. Y'all are the world. Y'all are the world. Y'all are the future. Everything that's about to happen next is because of y'all. So y'all gotta, strap them boots up, man, and make the decision. Y'all play ball, Steph Curry doing it, y'all might be next. You know what I'm saying? You might beat the 3-point record. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta set your mind to it early and stick to it. I mean, y'all can ask me whatever, man. Anything y'all wanna know, man, y'all can ask me.
Bro, I'm in there on the rock. I wanted to bring in food for them. Raise your hands. Anybody want to eat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6? Only 6? I'm only bringing 6 in? That's it? 7? Some stuff. Stop it. I don't even know for real. I'll be right back.
I have a question. Like, when you went to jail, like, you did all that time, and then, like, you come out, and then you got a whole bag, like, a lot of money.
Well, now another thing I learned when I was in prison was, so I took a paralegal course, and I learned how to file lawsuits. So I'm real good with filing lawsuits. And I won some big cases and lawsuit money and stuff like that when I was in prison. So when I came out, I already had, access to money.
Hey, you could how you file a lawsuit in jail? They let you do that?
Yeah, so a lot of people think that when you go to jail, you lose all your rights. That ain't true. When you go to jail, you lose some rights, but not all of your rights. One of the rights you still got is your right to access the courts. So if you go to jail and you feel like you ain't get a fair trial, then you got a right to file papers and say, look, I don't feel like I got a fair trial. So in my case, they took all of my papers. They took all of my documents, all of my appeal papers, all the evidence that I had in support of my case, in support of my appeal, which was illegal. That was against my rights because now I can't exercise my right to even get a review of my case. So that was one of the first lawsuits I filed. And I won that lawsuit. And then,
Who did you sue? Who did you sue?
I sued the jail. The individuals who took my paperwork and their supervisors. That was a part of the process.
That lessen your time?
It didn't lessen my time. But so the difference between criminal and civil. When you file a lawsuit, that's civil. Criminal, when you get found guilty, they give you time. Civil, when you win, they give you money. So your resolution is money when you file a lawsuit, not like a time reduction. Nah, I ain't had bail because I was on probation. If you're on probation and you get a new charge, you get a detainment. So it don't matter like what your bail is. Once your case is over, you still got to go in front of probation.
Who else? You go. I'm gonna put another on.
I'm good with you. Share it today.
Hold you over till you get home.
What's my PO for the thing?
Anybody want milk?
They cool.
Yeah, they won't. You good?
It's Khadijah out there. Oh, if you see spirits, lingering around out in the hallway, maybe on in here.
Andre, I'm back.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, this is your opportunity, to ask whatever questions you need to ask. I'm trying to tell you guys gotta take advantage of. This guy is definitely a resource. And like I said, for the next level, especially if you're trying to get to the next level.
So what made you want to write books?
Well, I started out with writing poetry. Actually, I started off rapping. I used to rap, and I just started writing poetry. Then I started writing articles, about particular topics. So for me, it was just about expressing, being better at expressing myself. And eventually, I started writing news articles and journals and newspapers and stuff like that to try to get my view out and to try to spread awareness about, just upbringing, poverty, prison, and things along that nature. So it was pretty much all about expressing. Because the thing is, man, what you gotta understand, especially like in the world that we live in today. Y'all got a lot of power over the story that get told about you. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in terms of like social media, videography, doing documentaries, telling your own story, telling people where you come from, showing people what you went to, whatever you trying to do, showing your side of the story. At one time it was just the newspapers that had control over that. Now you got the all these different social media outlets, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, so forth and so on, where you can actually tell your own story and paint your own picture. You know what I'm saying? Never let somebody else tell your own story. You gotta be the one to do it. And the better you are at it, the more people understand. The more you understand yourself, the better you could express it. So, being able to communicate, man, is gonna be like real important, man. I know a lot of times, like, I wanna be cool, like, yeah, I'm chilling, Nah, I was the same way, man, but I wish, man, that when I was around people that could have really changed my life, that I would have said more. I wish I would have asked more. You know what I mean? Because you never know that what somebody could say to you might change your life, man. Somebody might give you a piece of information that might be like, oh, okay. Because the only thing that separates the rich from the poor is information. Rich people are not smarter than poor people. Rich people just know how to use the information that they get. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. When you start dealing with people that are successful and they in these different loops, what changes their outcome is the information that they got. They got better information because they looking for it, they networking for it, they rubbing shoulders with the people that got it, and they understand the significance of it. So the fact that you got, are you raising your hand? Oh, go ahead.
I thought like rich people were smart because like they are, but like how did they get all that money? Like, did they steal stuff or something?
So I mean, sometimes, you know, they had a business idea. Sometimes it was passed along. You know, it was passed along. Their family had money, so they grew up with a better situation, with better access to money. But when it comes to smarts, you know, there's a big difference between being intelligent and being smart. Like, you can be intelligent, you can notice stuff and have it in your head, but the smart people are the people that take that information and apply it to something in life. When you learn how to apply the information that you got, that's what makes you smart. So we could both know the same information. Somebody can come in this room right now and give us some information about how to invest. And both of us understand it. I understand it just as good as you understand it. But you actually go out and do something with it, and I don't. That's the difference. So, you know, y'all take this information, y'all got access to all this information, use it. Y'all got access to people that have information, get it, and use it. It ain't good enough to just have it. You gotta use it, you gotta apply it. Y'all play basketball, learn from the best, study the best. When we was boxing, they tell us to study the best, watch the best. Anything that you do, man, you can be the best at it. You just gotta work hard. You gotta work at it. You gotta put that work in. When all your friends is out there playing and doing whatever they do, you doing what you need to do. You doing what you're supposed to do. And 10 years down the line, people see you doing your work, they be like, wow, how did he do that? He was disciplined. He was disciplined. How Steph Curry get that 3-point shot like that? He been doing it since he was like 6. So whatever you want to be good at, man, you gotta put the time into it and work at it. And guaranteed you gonna get better at it, no matter what it is. Whether it's good or it's bad, you gonna get better because through repetition, it gets easier. It's gonna get easier. Just like if you do 10 push-ups a day, if you keep doing 10 push-ups, by the end of the week, you're gonna be able to do 20. And by the end of the next week, you're gonna be able to do 30. That's with anything you do, whether you talk about math, reading, spelling, anything that you keep doing, you're gonna get better at it. Just gotta be willing to do it.
That's unfair.
Yeah.
Why they say you was awarded $300,000?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of my lawsuits, yup.
So you choose the price or they choose the price?
The jury choose the price. I mean, you can say the price, but it's up to the jury. It's up to the jury how much you get awarded. So how y'all doing? Y'all coming from practice?
Yeah.
What y'all doing? Basketball?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all play on the same team? No?
No, we play for Harrisburg.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, another thing too about money, man, like money don't mean nothing if you don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? Whether it's a 1,000 or 100,000. If you don't know what to do with your money, it don't mean nothing. So it's good. It was like even when I got money, it was still stuff that I had to backtrack and learn to be able to use it in the right way. So while you got the time, man, you got free time, figure out something that you like and study it. So that when you do get in a position, when your time comes, that you'll be ready. You know what I mean? People don't pay you just for money. People pay you for ideas. People pay you for skill. If you come to the table with a certain skill, it's like basketball. If people see that you have a certain skill, they say, okay, this person's gonna make money. This college will take this kid, or whatever the case may be. No matter what you do, if you good at it, there's some type of industry out there that wants to pay you for the skill that you got. If you think you ain't got a skill, develop it. But I'm pretty sure that everybody in this room has at least one skill, and that's technology. And I know that there's a whole lot of $1 million companies out here that'll pay you to do technology stuff on, whether it's social media, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, video, whatever. People pay you for that. I pay people for that. So I know there's a whole lot of companies out here that pay people for that. So never think that whatever you know is useless. Is everybody has some type of value, and there's a lot of people out here that's gonna find value in you and the things that you do and the things that you're good at. You gotta apply yourself. You gotta apply yourself. You gotta have the confidence to step up to people and say, look, this is what I do, I'm good at it. Pay me.
So like, how you sell your books? How you sell them? Like, who you take them to?
I sell them to companies. I sell them to organizations. I sell them online. My books is on Amazon. I sell them ebook format. Sometimes I sell them in clubs. I keep this bag right here. I walk in clubs and bars with this bag with my books on me and sell them to people. Yeah, look. Check this out, boom, boom, so forth and so on. Promote them on Facebook, promote them on Instagram. Get, people to take pictures with them, they post them, promote them on Instagram, Facebook, etc. There's a lot of different methods that you use to sell books, but it's just all about awareness. It's about generating awareness that the books exist and how they benefit people. Yeah. Your thing might not be books. Your thing might be movie scripts. I wish I would have been writing movie scripts instead of books. It might be better at writing movie scripts, screenplays, something like that. However, it's all about how your mind works. You just got, be willing to try different stuff, man. Don't not try something because they think it's not cool. You might be good at piano or guitar, anything. You gotta be willing to try it, explore it, find out what you're good at. That's what you gonna do? Play basketball?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you do?
Construction.
Okay. Yeah. Booming industry. People always need something built, put together. That's good.
Do you like make books? Like you write your whole books out and then just sell them?
Yeah. Now I'm not really that good at technology for real, because I was in prison so long. So I base anything that I don't know how to do, I hire somebody to do. You know what I'm saying? My book covers, all the binding and all that stuff. I don't know how to do none of that stuff.
Have you ever made a movie?
No. I'm filming a documentary right now though. I never made a movie. Yeah.
Where can you find your books at?
They on They online.
You got a book when you was 15?
Yeah, I fell when I was 15.
Thank you.
Cousin Teddy told me he got school.
I had to get him a copy. This one. Get some more before y'all leave.
So that's writing, writing books for you is like a full-time job.
Not no more. Yeah, when I wrote all my books when I was in jail.
So what's your full-time
I do events, we do events, marketing, clothing, promo.
So who's working?
Well, so I got a lot of social media following, and we do events. So let's say like you're a rapper, and you trying to do a show. You will hire my company, and we gonna get the flyers made, get the printing made, put it in, connect with the different venues, book you a show, negotiate a deal, get everything, just put everything together for you. You know what I'm saying? So marketing is all about awareness. That's all marketing is, awareness. Making people aware that this is happening. If they like it, they gonna come. If they like it, they gonna buy it.
You got any songs out?
No, I don't rap.
You said you used to rap.
I said I used to write raps. I started off writing raps. Then I started writing poetry. Then I started writing books. But nah, my brother's a rapper. I don't rap.
I'm confused though. So like when you was 15, you like trying, you like all the years.
I was already certified as an adult. I was already certified as an adult when I was 15.
With this new rules, that was not gonna fly.
Huh?
This new system, that was not would have been out.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Not a lot of juveniles was getting certified as an adult at that time. I was one of them, but yeah.
So you got out like last year or something?
Last year, yeah. Yeah, I just December 15th. I was out a year, just yesterday, matter of fact. So how's art though? Is y'all got a cage around y'all or not? Y'all got a fence? Is it a fence? Is there a fence around art?
It's a residential group home.
Okay,
It's
okay.
residential, we have residential, and, these guys, like I said here, they're like day treatment. They go
Okay.
home, they come from school to the program, so they're like 4 to 9,
Oh, okay, okay.
you know what I mean, so, it's like, it's like almost like a step down program coming from out of
Yeah,
place.
yeah. I know what you mean.
So, that's what a lot of these guys basically are, they come from step down.
Mm-hmm. That's a major opportunity, man. Hey, my first
See, they'll understand that, you know. that's
Yeah,
why
like
I
my
have to
first
explain
juvenile
to them,
detention
see,
center.
with now, they're not doing what they used to do with y'all.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
You said you went straight in, now,
yeah.
you know what I mean, things are a little different.
Yeah, I went to Newcastle Max when I was 14. Newcastle Max, double fence, locked in, don't go home, no home pass, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like I used to be like, man, I wish I'd have had an opportunity like that. I used to always say that. Like I wish I was they would have really like gave me a chance. Like I feel like I ain't really get a chance for real, but yeah, man.
See, that's what they don't understand. You know what I mean, like they think, you know what I mean, things are, you know what I mean, from back then to now, ain't nothing, you know what I mean, it's just a little hard, a little rougher now, but it was just rough back then too. So it was, the point is, you know, you spent time. You know what I mean, at age 15 or 16, if you did that crime, that's the adult time you did. You know, so, and now they get the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean, now they're adjudicated delinquent. So before you get to that next level. So they don't understand that.
It changed, man. Everything changed. Once they classify you as an adult, they start treating you like an adult, they start sentencing you like an adult, and you know, hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's a big difference between staff members at like an ARC or like a juvenile facility and a prison guard. Big difference. Them is two different worlds away. You know what I'm saying? You got people at that stage, the Boys and Girls Club staff members that really care about you, that really care what happens to you, that's willing to take time out their day and try to give you information or guide you or, you know what I mean, help you make better decisions. When in prison, they don't care. They don't care. You know what I mean? They don't care, man. It's a lonely place. It's a lonely place. It's a sad place. And it's dark. It's dark. I'm talking about it's mentally dark, emotionally dark. It's a real dark place to be, man. You ain't gotta go through that if you don't want to. You know what I mean? Same stuff we take for granted out here. Our parents, our family, our friends be the same stuff that you want when you in there. I was just talking to my homie the other day. He got life. He ain't never coming home. He got actually 2 life sentences. He ain't never coming home. And he was telling me about the time he had got some McDonald's. And I told him, like, I don't really eat a lot of fast food because it's bad on your body. But he was telling me that, he's like, man, it was so good, man. He said, I'm going to be talking about that for the next couple years. You know what I mean? 1 McDonald's meal. You know what I'm saying? That's how deprived you are. That's how far they take you away from society in terms of food, in terms of your mind, in terms of love. I lost my granddad, my mom, my brother, my aunt, all that when I was in jail. No funeral, no nothing, no phone call, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a totally different situation. You know what I mean? It's a totally different situation. So you hear it, man. Take advantage of it. Do something with your life. You got the opportunity. Because it's a lot of people, they say you feel sorry for the man who has no shoes until you meet one who has no feet. You might feel like you in a bad situation. But there's a lot of people, man, that would love to have your situation. A lot of people, man, that will literally be like, yo, cut my arm off right now and let me have his situation. Cut my leg off and let me have his situation. So it ain't as bad as you think, man. Once you know what I mean, keep that in context, and that's why like every day people be like, how you? I'm doing great. I ain't got no complaints. I eat good. I mean, I go where I want. I do what I want. I'm on my own time. Ain't nobody telling me when to lay down. Ain't nobody telling me when to shut my light off. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Because my life is in context because of everything that I saw. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is let y'all see my life here, so you ain't gotta experience it to put it in context. You know what I'm saying? You could put your life in context from what I experienced, from what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? They say a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So you could learn from my mistakes, the mistakes that I made. Now I ain't proud of nothing. None of that. Only stuff I'm proud of is the stuff that I did to change my life and become a better person. All the other stuff I did, I'm ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? I'm not proud of none of that stuff because I know my brothers was copying off of me, trying to do what I did. Now one of them did, and one of them, fortunately he out. He out now, but he did some time.
So how you feel about that? You know what I mean, that your brother is not here no more based on probably watching some of your actions.
I feel responsible. You know what I'm saying? I feel responsible. I feel like, you know, like I was a bad influence on him, that I was making bad decisions, that I was irresponsible in the way that I was living my life. because I wasn't aware that he was actually following me and copying me. You know what I'm saying? So, you
So
know,
how do you get past that mentally, emotionally, you know what I mean, on a daily basis?
Well-
Knowing that you had some type of interference there.
well,
You know what I mean?
one, I mean, he left some kids. You know what I mean? So, you know, through them, you know, I try to set a better example. You know, through them. Like, for me, the only real solution is to set a better example. To be more conscious and aware of what I'm doing out in this world and the messages that I'm sending to these other kids who I know are listening to me and I know are following me. You know what I'm saying? So I really get through it through service. Through service.
So doing something like this here
Doing,
makes you feel
yeah,
like you really
like,
actually.
they don't, like, y'all might not realize it, but this is like probably more for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it means more to me emotionally than you might realize. You know what I'm saying?
So this is therapeutic for
This
you.
is therapeutic for me. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I know that, cause I had a lot of influence, a lot of negative influence. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't always the best with it. So, you know, I think about the long-term effects that the things that I was teaching people had on their lives and society as a whole. You know, I feel like I did my community wrong. So, you know, now I'm out here and I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to do something different, man, and do it right. So, you know, I do these things, man. You know, I take kids out, take them skating, do little different stuff with them, and you know, have them involved in my different businesses and so forth and so on. Just try to open their minds up and show them something different than what people were showing us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, your perception become your reality.
Can you say that again? Say that one more time so they can hear that.
Yeah, your perception become your reality, man. What you thinking, what you be thinking, you think that that's what the reality is, when it's really not. It's all types of other stuff going on in the world. It's all types of other perspectives and information that might shift the way you see things, but you gotta expose yourself to it. You can't stay on Virginia Street or 6th Street and think that that's the world, like that's the representation of the world. It ain't. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. Pennsylvania's like this big on the map. You know what I mean? So many other things to see in the world, even in the country, in the world, that is gonna open your eyes up to worldly issues, open your eyes up to yourself. It's gonna teach you about yourself, it's gonna teach you about people. You just gotta put yourself in them situations, man. You gotta put yourself in them situations. When I was in the Feds, I met dudes that was from Ecuador, you know, all over the place. And I used to intentionally like talk to them, like, yo, what's your country like? What is it like over there? Just to try to get information and learn and put myself in a situation to gain a better understanding and perspective. You know what I'm saying? It, like, our culture is such that we'll be in a room and won't nobody speak to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I was just actually, when I came to get my clearance to come over here, I was sitting in a room with a group of women and I just sparked a conversation with them, like, you know, I just came up with a topic, you know, just to start, because we was all just really on our phones. But I noticed like how them phones would really have you like anti-social, like you don't want to talk to nobody, you just on your phone. But you could be sitting, you don't know who you sitting in the room with. You don't know who you sitting in the room with, man. You know what I mean? So I always, you know, from being in prison, like you gotta be aware of who you're around and what's going on around you. So even when I'm in these different environments and these different scenarios, I always be thinking like you never know who's in this room. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, real money's silent. You know what I'm saying? Real money, you know what I'm saying? Like a dude, you might see a dude with a big chain and, you know, he might got a Benz or a Beamer or whatever. You think that that's real money. That ain't real money. It just look like real money. You know what I mean? But the only way you gonna really know is to really talk to people, man. Get to know people, learn yourself, share. Authenticity, man. People talk about being real, but don't nobody want to talk about how they really feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How they really feel. There was a lot of dudes that I met in prison used to debate a lot. And I used to ask them, like, do you really believe that? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
No. A lot of people would have debates about different topics and so forth and so on. And I will always ask them, like, do you really believe that? Do you really believe what you're saying? Or is this just something that, you know, is a good discussion topic for you? Because a lot of time, man, we talk about things, but we don't really talk about how we feel. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to it, man, when y'all start having kids, when y'all start getting relationships, when y'all start owning businesses, y'all gonna need to know how to communicate. You're gonna need to know, you're gonna need to be able to express how you feel. You're gonna need to let people know what's in your mind, what's in your heart, what's your vision, how you expect things to be. You're gonna have to express that because you're the only one that got it. Nobody else got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? So I come here and try to give y'all a piece of my mind and show y'all what I come from and where I've been to let you know, man, like I came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I came from nothing. I came from the mud. I wasn't no privileged kid. My little brother, he used to get Jordans and all that stuff because he was a straight A student. But we didn't get Jordans. You know, we might have got occasional sneakers and stuff like that. But for the most part, we was poor. You know what I'm saying? We was poor. I was wild. I was crazy. And like I told you, when I first went to prison, I couldn't read or write. You know what I'm saying? Now I own 4 businesses. People work for me. I travel anywhere I want. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a fairly successful person. Thing is, y'all don't got to go through what I went through to do that.
Here's a lot of my here still struggling with that.
A question. Do you feel like jail saved you?
For sure. You know why I was talking to one of my cousins the other day, and he was like, I kind of feel like people were relieved that I went to prison. Some people were relieved that I went to prison. My cousin, who I used to hang with all the time, said the other day, he was like, man, I used to always tell people that there's no telling where I would be right now if you would have never went to jail, because we was on a dangerous path. You know what I'm saying? We was out there. We was out there. So the path that I was on, I'd have definitely been dead. Or I'd have definitely killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? For sure. So in that sense, prison saved me in that sense. But it didn't make me. I chose to remake myself. You know what I'm saying? When I got in prison, start reevaluating and looking at my life like, that's not what I want for my life and that's not what I want for my future. I remade myself. So prison don't fix you. Prison might stop your activities and whatever you're doing. But once you get, I know plenty guys that I know right now that did 15 years, 20 years, and the same person they was when they went in, they into the same stuff they was into right now as we speak. You know what I'm saying? So prison don't change you. Prison gives you the opportunity to change. And you can take it or you don't. But you don't gotta go to prison to make that decision. That's the message I'm trying to give to y'all. You don't have to go to prison to find yourself. You don't gotta go to prison to learn and look at yourself or start making better decisions. You ain't gotta go to prison to do that. I went to prison and that's when I started doing it. But you ain't gotta go to prison to do that. You don't wanna go to prison to do that. Utilize, like he said, utilize your resources. Utilize the people around you, the staff members, the Boys and Girls Club staff, your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, they mean well. They mean well, man.
What age did you decide to walk away from the Boys and Girls Club? Because the Boys and Girls Club couldn't do anything else for you.
Boy, I never made that decision. I actually, when I was like 7 years old, I got sent away because I kept getting in trouble in school. Then I came home for like 6 months, and then right after that, I got sent away again for 2.5 years. Mind you, I'm like 8, 9, 10. And then by the time I came home, I was already in the criminality. You know what I'm saying? I was selling drugs, smoking weed, 11, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? 14 armed robbery. You know what I'm saying? So by that time, I was like, I'm not even thinking. I wasn't in that boys club mentality at that point. Being in them different placements actually bred me for criminality. You know what I'm saying? Before I went in, I was just a troubled child. I got into a lot of fights, got into a lot of trouble, rebellion and stuff like that. But being exposed to people from bigger cities and older crowds and stuff like that, that's when, I got exposed to the criminality. So it was never really a decision like, oh, and the boys club was closed. It was closed or remodeled. The one out the south at the time too. So it was nothing there for real.
And what year was that?
That was like 94, 95, 94, 95, around that time.
You came up around Sherman?
Sherman, yup. Yeah. I was just in the club with his son. His son owned the district down on 3rd Street.
Okay.
Yeah, Dre. Yeah, so we came up in that era. He was a real good man. And like I was saying earlier, a lot of the guys that worked at the club, and Tarp, all of them, they doing good. They was role models to us. They was role models. We looked up to them. They wasn't gangsters. They wasn't drug dealers. They wasn't none of that. But we listened to them. They respected us. They treated us with respect, and they was role models. You know what I mean? So, I know it ain't. It's easy for us to say this to these younger guys. That selling drugs ain't cool, being a shooter ain't cool, all this different stuff. But then at the same time, you got all this music, these movies, and all of this different stuff that they hearing and they seeing everywhere else, telling them something different, or giving them the idea that, Big Meech is and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't easy, man. We gotta constantly, be in their ear, man, and let them know, man. It's okay to be regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what they need to understand.
It's okay to be regular.
That needs to be said to them. Because they don't understand that. Everybody think they gotta be with somebody.
Yeah,
So.
And I ain't saying, that Steph Curry is great. Steph Curry is great. He ain't never been in trouble.
Did you see that jump shot he made from like the top of the thing?
Yeah, I seen that from the stands.
Was that fake or was that real?
It looked it real.
I think it was real.
Yeah, I think so too.
605.
I got my baby. People say I look like Steph Curry.
You could be his son.
Yeah. Same hair.
You could be his son.
Yeah.
I can't follow like him.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to.
Now, if you could change the hands of time, what would you do differently?
If I could change anything at all, man, I would listen to the people that was trying to tell me good things, trying to tell me to do right.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, what you're saying, because I was in the same shoes. So I understand what you're saying about being, in prison and all that. They thinking it's an easy road. Nah, it's not easy road. Campbell's just a stop. And that's where you get killers. That really, these guys are really in the same cell with you, will really take you out with no problem. Because they don't have nothing to lose.
I was in the feds with a dude that was a hitman, right? But you look at him, he looked like something out of a GQ magazine. You know what I'm saying? Hair slicked back, little glasses, little wire wearing glasses, just look like a regular, like a regular cool guy. Kill people for a living. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's there, man. You know what I mean? It's all types of people there, man. It's not a good place to be. It's not a good place to be, man. You don't want to live like that every day. Bad enough, you got beef with a dude from another neighborhood that you barely see. Versus like being around these type of people every day. You don't know what they thinking, what they going through, what type of day they having, and
Any more questions?
No.
Yeah, well,
So your book deal, your books that you've been writing, so are they out there for these guys to read or you get a hold of to read? I mean,
Yeah.
or do you have them, how you doing it?
yeah, they on all platforms, yeah. They on all platforms. Actually, I think I got probably some of my cards in here too.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, if you got cards,
Yeah, I got some of my cards, got all my social media and stuff on there.
you got something, there.
We got
Yeah, go there, you ordered that.
Is that real?
What, real gold?
Let me see honest. Is it? Why you put your phone number on it?
That ain't my name, that's my business number.
Like, you dropped it and your phone number, you picked it up and you called me.
Yeah, nah, that's a business number.
How far is your business? Do you have like a building or just like?
Yeah, no, I don't have a bill.
Are you going to any of the schools?
Yeah, I was just at Rolling yesterday,
What?
You was at Rolling yesterday?
yeah, they want me to talk to them, they want me to talk over there too. The principal wasn't available or whatever, so funny thing is, I was at the youth basketball game the other day, and I seen Mr. Jackson, who used to work at Shaffner.
Mm-hmm.
So I started talking to him, and I was telling him some of the stuff that I remember him telling me from back in the day. And he was like, yeah, he's like, wow, man, I can't believe that you remember that, et cetera, so on. He found out I wrote books and whatever, so he was like, yeah, man, here go my number, contact me, I want you to come and talk over at the school, you know?
Okay.
So I went down there, and I was supposed to be seeing the principal.
Okay.
But she wasn't available, so he said he gonna call me and set it back up. But yeah, that's the plan, man. You know, just basically go to these different places and try to plant that seed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know that they, you know, in many cases they won't hear nothing I say and change. I didn't hear stuff that people said and change. You know what I mean? It's over a period of time you plant that seed, and eventually it grows.
Have you been to Shaft? Have you been to Shaft?
Not since I've been out. I was at Shaffner before though.
Oh, but you haven't been down there to speak with the kids?
No,
down there?
no. I heard. Is that even still open?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay.
Well,
I heard it's
yeah,
like some
alternative-
structural.
Yeah, alternative rehabilitation runs that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I plan to do all of that, especially places that I've been. You know what I'm saying? The boys club. I went to some of the group homes that I was at before,
Okay.
and yeah. So we about to we putting a tour together. Putting a whole tour together. Just go around, man. Spread the message, man, and you know, hopefully it make a difference.
Right. I mean, I think it will. I mean, if people can see, you know, what I mean, exactly, you know, where you came from, okay? Product of the streets. Like you said, it wasn't easy for you growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a lot of them need to understand that it's not easy. You know what I mean? People keep telling them that it is easy. It is easy, but it's not. Life is hard, you know what I mean? It's only what you make. So if you want to be something, you can be something. If you choose not to, you know what I mean? Especially, you know what I mean, when you not too sure what side of pensions you need. You know, we got a lot of guys in here, teenagers, who don't know what side of pensions you need. It's hard. Real one.
See, where's Mr. Dad?
What are you looking for?
Mr. Derek? Not to go with.
Right there.
838, that's crazy.
Yeah, I see right there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like I said, it's been a minute, because I've been working on youth myself. I've been doing this for 40 years, so. I just, you know what I mean, and I probably still come through with some real stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at the picture names and trying to put two and two together. I can remember insurance, so. They never see that in me, you can make it out of it. They got to think outside the box. A lot of them think outside the
When I
box.
grab my boys, I got practice.
You can, what did Mr. Derek say? He's fine with me. I don't know.
Yeah, and
I
you
don't
told
know
me
who
because
you
our
boys-
practice is from 6 to 7.
I don't know who you boys are.
Is it almost
Who you
seven?
All
got?
the guys that play basketball, can whoever,
Excuse yourself.
yeah, please. I'm sorry.
Is it almost 7 now?
No, it's 6:13. So I only get an hour in the gym to practice.
Johnson, what's your first name? Johnson first. Who's the last one? Lee. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I mean, if y'all ain't got no more questions or anything y'all want to share,
You know, she's going, you guys got any more questions? I mean, did he kind of explain to y'all? I mean, because like I said, my guys, a lot of times, they don't believe that education is important. You know, sometimes school just not, some of them will be like, school just not for me. Some of them rather get high. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't function, you know what I mean, without it. That's, some of my guys really truly believe they can't function without it. So, I mean, I don't know what you can say to them, gotta make them take a look at it differently. Same thing with education, I don't know, like you said before, you know what I mean? Some people weren't able to read, you know what I mean? Some people, like say, you guys you knew, I knew some guys that were dyslexic. You know what I mean? Robert Tate. If anybody that knows Robert Tate, he used to play for the Minnesota Vikings. He used to play for the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. He was just like that. He was dyslexic. You know, he could read. You know what I mean? And he struggled with that. He struggled with that all the way through until he realized that he had that next level ability to get to that next level, but he knew he had to work on that education. Like I said, some folks around here, you know what I mean, it thinks it's embarrassing. I mean, I look at some of the kids in the Boy Scout, and I can say the time is 5:45. They do not have no clue what I just said when I said 5:45. So some of them struggle, you know, like I said, education. So
yeah, I mean, if you want to do anything in your life, if you want to accomplish anything important in your life, you're gonna need an education. You're gonna need an education. Education gonna bring you understanding. And what happens? Like I knew people in prison that was 50 years old and couldn't read and write. You know what I'm saying? 50 years old, couldn't read and write. You can't hand them a book. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I mean, you could do it. I always tell people, I tell my nephews and my niece, get it out the way now. Just go ahead and get it out the way. No, nobody really find it pleasant.
Right.
Most kids don't find going to school pleasant. I didn't find it pleasant. I only liked it math. You know what I'm saying? Math and art is the only thing I liked. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing. Anything else, I ain't had no real interest in. But when it came down to come down, I couldn't even get my paralegals degree until I had a GED. So if you want to do other advanced stuff in life, you're gonna need at least the basics. So, you know, if you can, man, while you can, just get it out the way, man. Take your school stuff serious, advance as fast as you can, as diligently and as serious as you can, get it out the way so you can live your life. You gonna get it now or get it later, you know what I'm saying? You gonna, you know, if you wanna do something with your life, you gonna deal with it now or you gonna have to deal with it later.
right.
or be stuck without it, you know, which ain't a good place to be in this world.
Some people think that they can, get through life without it.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? Like I said, some of them believe that, and I mean, like I said, you have the fortunate ones, you know what I mean, that make it. You know what I mean? They didn't have to finish school, but they made it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a lot of them out there think that they can do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's not always the case. Not everybody's gonna be able to do that.
That's the exception. That's
Right.
That's the exception, not the rule.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about information. You know, you might hear these stories here and there, but when you put them in context, when you understand that there are over 350 million people in this country, and you only know about 3 or 4, maybe 5 stories like that, that shows you how very exceptional they really are. You know what I'm saying? Out of 350 million people, only 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or even 100 of them made it without an education. That's not the rule. That's the exception.
What that yesterday?
About education.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
So I'm just saying, do you remember when we was talking about that? And sometimes some people look at it differently and think, well, I really don't need it to get ahead in life.
You know, you really, I mean, like you said, in some cases people can succeed without it. But again, when we talk about odds, the odds of things, you know, most people who are successful have an education.
Right.
That's a fact.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can debate. Most people who are successful do have an education.
Like I said, it's just hard sometimes to get it through to them.
Yeah.
I mean, that education is important. You know, I mean, education will lead you, and open up a lot of doors for you. But like you said, you gotta apply yourself. When you apply yourself every day, you should be fine. But when you don't apply yourself, those are the things that happen. You sell yourself short. That's what a lot of them do. They sell themselves short. What's up? Who's that?
So that's what you like, math, huh? Good. Numbers is important. What about you, man? You ain't said a lot.
I don't like school.
You don't like school? I don't like school either.
I mean, school don't bother me. I mean, I have good grades, but I'd rather be doing what I do for fun or a hobby or money.
Yeah. I mean, even when you get older, right? You're gonna have responsibilities. Right now, I would be in somebody's club. I would be in a club. I would be somewhere having some type of fun with a girl or something. You know what I'm saying? That's where I would be right now. But you're gonna have to decide what is more important. Even when you become an adult, you still gonna have to make the decision. You know what I'm saying? What you would prefer to be doing. There's gonna be some things that you would prefer not to do or you prefer to do. You gonna have to constantly make that decision on what's more important. It's called prioritizing. You know what I'm saying? Putting your priorities first. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like the whole, you need school to succeed, though. I mean, my uncle, he couldn't read, he still can't read, he can't write, but he runs a mechanic shop off 6th Street. And, I mean, he probably takes 50, 60 cars in a day and turns them around in a week. And he has, rollbacks and stuff that are $200,000-$300,000 in towing equipment, but he doesn't know how to read or write.
How many other people do you know like that?
I know, I'm saying he was fortunate.
That's what I'm saying. That's the exception. That's not the rule. There's some people that's like that. That's a fact. I mean, it's that's a fact that can't be denied. You got some people that are so gifted at what they do that they make it even without having an education.
I mean, I hate going to school, but I go because I have to, and I do my work. I'm a straight A student.
That's good.
A's and B's, but
yeah, mostly A's. That's good.
But I'd rather focus what I like to do.
And kind of like what you said though, you said that he's a mechanic and he know how to do all this stuff. that is an education.
Yeah.
That's an education.
I learned what I mean, that's what I do. I work on cars too.
Okay.
I go to auctions, buy cars, and bring them home and part them out if they don't run.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he taught me everything.
That's what I was about to say. You learned that stuff from him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I work in his garage occasionally.
Yeah, that's good, man. Now, I mean, you applying yourself. Taking something you know, you applying yourself.
Where's man outside there, man? Up there, that machine where you just came out that bathroom over there. Mr. Jackson's on his way over there.
Who?
Mr. Jackson's on his way. So how long you been home?
A year and a day.
A year and a day.
Mm-hmm.
You came home a year ago yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been gone for 25?
23.
Why did you do extra years?
The water.
Because I was getting more trouble in jail.
Oh. How many fights did you have when you was in there? Like, not out of one day, but like, out of the whole time. Did you have a lot?
A whole lot.
You ever get stabbed? Or shot? Shot at?
Mm-hmm.
So over the years that you spent in the system, how did your mother deal with all that?
Not good, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause I think at one point all of us was in jail. Me and all my brothers was in jail all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And you know, she used to always say it, like when I used to talk to her, she'd be like, all my babies away. You know what I'm saying? So before she passed though, like we had real good conversations, me and my mom. That's another thing, man, like
Did they let you come home for that?
no. They ain't let me come home for none of my
None of the passings in your family.
no.
So how do you feel about that, knowing that, you did get a chance to speak to them?
I just feel like if I could have, I feel like I could have made a difference. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to my baby brother. But ultimately, I feel like everything happened how it happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't be trying to rewind or remake the past. The past is what it is.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Only thing I worry about is what's happening right now and what we could do about tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't, it happened how it happened. You know what I mean?
So like I said before, I mean, for you, this is therapeutic based on some of your losses. Because people have a tendency to don't want to leave the past. No, and it's okay to talk about the past, because the past should be able to get you through. You know what I mean? But some people are not able to do that. They're not able to let the past go. They hold on to grudges. So do you have any grudges or anything that you?
I feel like I still kind of hold on to the guys in my life, the guys in my mom's life who used to hit her. You know what I'm saying? I still kind of hold on to that. You know what I mean? I still feel like more, not for me personally. Like it doesn't affect me personally, but for how they did her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And how it drove her to drinking and drugs and ultimately to her death. That don't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm still cordial, with my dad. Like we sat down for my documentary and we had a conversation, we spoke and so forth and so on. I speak to him, I pick up the phone when he called, whatever. But I don't respect him as a man because of what he did to my mom, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still in that space as far as that's concerned.
Building a relationship with that individual.
Yeah, more so like, you know, I would really like to get to a point.
How's everybody?
How you doing? How you doing?
Good, good. I'm gonna bring this young man back in.
Alright, I got it.
You doing well?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
He is fine.
All right. So, what's this class about?
Basically about life, man.
Mhm.
You know, about making better decisions so you don't
Life
end
skills?
up, yeah, you know.
Okay. Nice.
Here you go, Mr. Spence.
Yep, yep. Okay. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, man.
This is one of
Sorry
our
to interrupt.
occupational.
Yeah, Spence, one of the POs.
Okay.
Yep. I'll take care of that.
Alright, thanks.
Okay,
Yep.
you know, Joe.
Alright. So, you know, we do have occasional POs that come through, you know, checking.
Mhm.
I mean, on there, and making sure that they doing the up and up, I mean, know what they need to do.
That's good. So I'm connected with an investigator down in Florida who works for the Federal Public Defender's Office. And a lot of times she be asking me questions about how to better help the clients.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand that people like him and, you know, attorneys and so forth and so on are part of this entire process. You know what I'm saying? Because people need to understand our youth and our culture in order to be able to help us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand that, you know, I understand that process.
And these guys, I mean, his son, you might even know his son, Noah. Noah used to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Noah Spence. So, I mean, we do, some of these guys, I mean, don't realize, I mean, who you know. You know, and like I said, that's why
He's a resource.
Yeah, and I tell them that all the time. He's a resource. I mean, we have plenty of people. You know, I don't know if you remember Danny Lasana. You know what I mean? These are all people from Harrisburg. You know what I mean? These are guys that played in the pros. You know, whether it was football or basketball. You know, like I said before, you have Robert Tate. You know what I mean? Who comes back all the time? They get back to Harrisburg. Shady. You know what I mean? These are all guys that grew up in Harrisburg, all grew up through the Boys and Girls Club. They came up through the Boys and Girls Club. You know what I mean? And in fact, you know what I mean? They come back on the holidays. You know what I mean? To get back. What's that? Say again? Michael Parsons too. Yeah, no doubt. I don't forget about Michael. Everybody know, you might know. You know Michael Parsons from the Dallas Cowboys.
I
He
really
just got
don't follow
drafted.
sports.
Huh?
I really don't follow sports.
Yeah, he just got drafted. You
Okay.
know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that just, you know, just recently, and he's doing well. You know what I mean? He's just guys that came up through here, you know what I mean? Started out like everybody else. You know what I mean? Where everything was going on, they just had to figure a way out. And the way they found a way out, and they applied it. So like you said, Michael Parsons applied himself all the way through high school. He was afforded the same thing everybody else was afforded to. He took advantage of what he could take advantage of. You know, and like I said, those resources was right there. So he tapped into those resources, and look where he sits today. You know, on top of that podium, you know what I mean, and playing for Dallas Cowboys, won't be Rookie of the Year. You know, doubt. You know what I mean, to show everybody that you can come from something and you can make something of yourself. So it's up to you, like you said. You have to apply yourself every day. And hopefully everybody here understood that when you said it. You have to apply yourself. You know what I mean? It's not going to be easy, but you have to apply yourself. That's what I want to make sure everybody get across. You know what I mean? That speaks to them. It won't be easy. So don't look for an easy way out. Just like I said, you won't have to work, and it takes work. You know. So hopefully they understand what you're saying. Hopefully they get something out of it. I think, you know what I mean, you just personally just getting into these schools, you know what I mean, and giving your message is going to be a big thing. That's my personal opinion. You know, because they need to hear that. They need to hear your story.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the plan.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm glad y'all came, man. Glad, you know, I appreciate y'all time. You know, I hope y'all take something that I said and use it. You know what I mean? Take it and use it, man. Use it for yourself and for your family, man.
I definitely know where you're coming from. You said you knew Anthony Coverson and all them.
Yeah, and
Chris McGraw,
Dre,
Dre.
Bray that got killed? Used to play
Yeah, that's,
basketball.
Anthony's brother.
Man's brother, yeah.
What'd you say the ages he is?
Lily, no. He's
Oh, Lily Perez.
Yeah,
Lily Perez and her brother Robert and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't remember me from the Boys and Girls Club? I used to be out there with Sharon. I ran, and we opened it up together. We opened that Boys Club up together.
Yeah, I don't remember your face.
Let's see, I ran that Boys Club back in 1999. I was the director in 99.
I wasn't out there then.
Yeah, you said 94
Mm-hmm.
when you came through. But see, I was working with this agency at that time. You know, because I've been with this agency, Alternative Rehab, which is ARC. I've been with them for 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this organization has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know any of the LBs or any of those guys.
Mm.
Yeah, but the organization's been around for a while.
Oh yeah, no, I always heard of art.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I always heard of art. Yeah. Yep.